Hi, second graders. Today we are on Module 3, Lesson 20's Deep Dive. Today is another vocabulary deep dive where we're going to look at word relationships. We did this before with the shades of meaning where you had the different colored gray cards that you had to cut out and put them in order from weakest to strongest. So today you'll need your blue book, your blue workbook, your notebook, scissors, and glue. Okay, I'm going to reread a page from the story of Ruby Bridges, and it is on page 25, and it says, when she went into the classroom, Mrs. Henry asked her what happened. Mrs. Henry told Ruby that she'd been watching and that she was surprised when Ruby stopped and talked with the people in the mob. Ruby became irritated. We're going to focus in on that word irritated. Here it is, irritated. So we have some other words that we could have used. Ruby became angry, Ruby became furious. The author chose Ruby became irritated. What do you think the word irritated means? Yeah, it means when someone is irritated that they're annoyed or something is bothering them. This is an adjective that describes how Ruby's feeling. Now, if we said Ruby became angry, does that change the way you think of Ruby reacting to Mrs. Henry? Or if we say Ruby became furious? Angry and furious sounds stronger than irritated. Irritated is just annoyed or bothered. Angry and furious mean really mad, and furious is really, really mad. Ruby is irritated at Mrs. Henry because Mrs. Henry was confused about why she stopped, but she isn't angry. The mob is angry and furious, but Ruby is just more irritated. So if we had these three words on sentence strips, the weakest word would be irritated. Then it would go to angry. And then it would go to furious. And someone might experience all three of those feelings. They might start out irritated and then get angry. And that anger could turn to feeling furious. So irritated would be the weakest one there. In your book, we have handout 20A. Some of you learned from the last time we did this that you do not want to cut all of the cards out all at the same time, because if they get mixed together, then it's hard to determine which cards should be together. So my suggestion to you is to cut out one row at a time. Cut out happy, joyful, and ecstatic first, then sort them, then move on to the next row. Cut and sort those, move on to the rest, and do one row at a time so that they don't get all mixed up. So down here in my notebook, I have our first row, which is happy, joyful, and ecstatic. Ecstatic means feeling or expressing extreme happiness or joy. The girl was ecstatic about the birth of her baby sister. So looking at those three words, we're going to put them in order from the weakest to the strongest. So for these three words, we would go happy, then joyful, and then ecstatic. So they could stay in the same order. Now I'm going to cut out the next three words, which are anxious, frightened, and terrified. So I might start with anxious. It's just kind of feeling nervous. Then I would go to frightened. You're a little scared now. And then terrified is like you're really, really scared. Then we have strong, powerful, and mighty. Looks like these might be in order already. Because my weakest one would be strong. then to powerful, and then to mighty. Mighty is like really powerful or really strong. We have bad, mean, and terrible. I might start with bad and then go to mean. And out of these three, I think terrible would be the strongest one. Then we have confident, brave, and courageous. I would start with confident. You're feeling good about something. Brave means you're not scared. And then courageous is like very brave. And then we have liked, enjoyed, and loved. I think liked would be the weakest there. And enjoying something is a little bit stronger than liking it. And then loved would be the strongest of those three. Oh, so here is what I have for the order that I think they should go in. If you switch any around, that is totally fine, as long as you can be able to tell your teacher or whoever's looking at it why you put it in that order. So if you decided to put mighty before powerful, again, totally fine, as long as you can say why did you do that. Okay, so when you're done with sorting your words from least strong to strongest, then you can take a picture of your work and add it to your Seesaw, and you are done with the deep dive for today.